video transmission that's going, Jim will be so kind as to make sure that what I'm saying is actually being transmitted out to the interwebs because he's awesome like that, and he manages his own website for our sake, and really more just for my sake, so I can go back and look at things in video and be like, what did I say? So I can actually be consistent and not have plot holes. The things.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think we're all right.
Hooray! All right. We got 2 hours, so let's get this thing rolling. Hello, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome to another episode of Mike's campaign of Sugoi Sauce. Sugoi, I swear, really, it will be awesome. I am your host, Mike, the DM, on episode 51 here. And with, as always, our adventurers from left to right across my screen, we have Babbage, Jim, the gnome tinker, who's in a just swell
Howdy.
at the moment. Yay, we have...
I'm okay. Stop saying that. I'm fine.
Sorry. I'm trying to empathize. Stop it! Like, okay.
It's fine. I'm okay. It's just a game.
We have the Furblog Druid, you, Jeff. I feel like the Druid would have a theme of just like eating all the time for some reason. Just constantly like eating nuts or like snacks or something. Like
Always chewing on a twig.
I feel like that fits the character perfectly.
I don't recommend eating that many good berries.
Yes. We have Candidate Stormblessed, Zach, our high elf monk, who's very, very good at punching things and rolling 20s. And we have our Blessed Bellarmine, Deacon Sylvia, our human knowledge cleric. When we last left our intrepid adventurers, things did not go so well. Across the period of 2 episodes, a fight that they tried their darndest to win did not go so well. About trying to it was a hostage exchange that they tried to jump the baddies on. It turns out the baddies were a little too powerful for the party because there were a lot of them, and some of them hiding in the wings. Long story short, they got knocked out. Although Kanadin at one point did see what seemed to be an invisible character actually stabilizing the players so they wouldn't just be completely knocked out. They then were presented with a vision, which I will summarize as basically saying they all basically witnessed what appeared to be some sort of... They were witnessing... I have to come back and fix a little bit of this in the dream that I wrote you guys because I slapped that together rather quickly, but... basically, they witnessed what appeared to be some sort of vision of a person communing with some sort of extremely powerful thing that was through some sort of dimensional portal kind of thing. The character that they were witnessing seemed to try to break said connection, and then a lot of bad things happened. They fell into this giant gaping hole, and they witnessed this one person from like sort of off screen in the vision, sort of chasing down after them as the hole suddenly closed, but not after a whole lot of chaos and like storms and lightning and things happened. When we come back, when all of them came to, they were in a caged cell of a wagon. Several of them have multiple levels of exhaustion. You're basically all down to 1 hit point. There we go, back to chat. Everybody's got either 2 or 3 levels of exhaustion, and Bellarmine's... Nobody has any of their stuff. All of your armor is missing, all of your toys are missing, all of your magical items. If you have a spell focus, it's not there. Unless you have some... I don't think any of you do, but unless you had some sort of like jewelry that was purely for like aesthetic or personal reasons that didn't have any functional value, nothing's on you except for like and rags. Your tattoos are still there. But you are all chained in that you have like manacles on your... you got manacles, and are they called manacles on your ankles too? They all... Basically, you're all chained down, like with a chain around your neck. Yeah, I don't know. But like chain, like neck, wrists, ankles, and then like a chain running down the middle. Yeah. And like you'll notice on the ones that are attached to your wrist is like is like a red mana crystal that's sort of throbbing in a like in and out of like a red like a low but red glow. And Bellarmine, because your passive perception, notices fairly quickly that all 3 of the other person in the room or in the cage, and you surmise yourself too because your neck is sore. You all have like 2 bite marks in your necks, like gouges into them. And you feel awful. I mean,
Is this daylight still, or is it daytime currently?
Yeah, no, it's like you're waking up. It's the middle of the day. I mean, everything hurts.
Like the scene from Gladiator when he's being carted off to. Anyone?
It's been too long.
I remember.
Wow, yeah.
But yeah, so like you guys are in. Everybody's in rough shape. You're chained into this wagon, and you are moving along what appears to be some sort of desert road. I mean, looking around, you see this guy who you vaguely remember stabbing some of you and then going invisible again. This one, which was throwing a bunch of fireballs from that little rod, and a bunch of other Lysolots, including two that you notice holding a very large chest in the back there. And we are simply moving along. You don't really have a sense of how
If I
much
burn
time has
steel,
passed.
do I see any lines going to that chest?
Say again?
Yeah, that was for Zach.
Okay.
I burn some iron, bring it right to you. Did we see River and or Cognan?
Cognan's what you believe
Crumbled
to be a stone head of what looks like either a copy of his head or, I mean, from evidence you could surmise his head is bouncing around inside the wagon.
Oh, lovely. But no sign of River?
No.
Any noise or jingling or anything?
I mean, you
going on
have the sound
that?
of all the chains jingling inside as the horse is moving along.
Yeah, I'm asking more about the case that they're carrying.
Oh, I mean, it sounds like it's full of
our gear.
One could surmise. It doesn't sound like it's full of coins. It sounds like it's full of all kinds of like metal and other stuff. But yeah, no, it's like a full chest. I mean, I imagine what we all brought to Yagu basically to like help us live for a week. So yeah, like a big luggage chest that you would like normally like move. There is nobody by the way, there's nobody like sitting in the front of the wagon driving. It's these two guys with the red rings in the front that are like holding lines that are guiding the horses.
Reins?
Yeah, they have reins that they're each like guiding one.
Getting bridle.
Yes. I know horse things. Moving along.
Am I able to cast mass healing word on our party?
That's a good question.
Also, did we long rest or no?
No. Long rest implies that it's like a restful sleep.
So same status quo as the battle when it ended.
Worse. You have several levels of exhaustion.
Right.
And extremely achy. I mean, if you had any spell slots, you still have. If you
a
had
level of exhaustion for each roll below a 20 con save, right?
Correct. So I think all of you at least. I know all of you have at least 2. I think Bellarmine has 3.
What happens if I do this?
Let's try. So as you go to speak the words that you know would get you the spell, the spell slot that you use is expended, but like you see that the red stone that is inside your manacles glows very red and like bright, and almost hums, and like you feel almost like a burning sensation inside your wrists.
Can we reach?
That slowly starts becoming searing pain.
Can we reach each other's manacles and maybe pop that stone out?
As you go to, as you take, as you're having that thought, like you're sort of distracted by like the 5-6 level pain that you're going through your wrists, and the spell does not, it sort of fizzles out, still empties from your mind, having cast the spell, and as the pain, the pain sort of sits there for a couple minutes, but as you try to where the way that all four of you are chained down, like you're kind of forced into a hunched position. Like you can't, as you try to like lift up more, like the length of the chain from like your ankles to your wrists is too short. So you can barely like, you can't even sort of even get into like a full sitting up position, let alone
Can we
reach.
bite it with our teeth?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. If you were stuck, I mean, you can. It hurts you to like. You have to pull basically at your own ankles hard enough to try to get close, but you can't like even if you get close but not quite, and even if you feel like you can get your teeth on a little bit, you can't. There's no way to get a good grip.
Can we offer our hands to someone else and have them bite it?
You can't get close enough. I have to remember. How do I have to remember how to move out of. How do I get everybody to. Hold on. Oh, is that how? There we go. Okay. You all moved, right? Yes. Okay.
I see a black rectangle.
Oh wait, does everybody see black right now?
Except for locally.
Oh, hold on. There. Better?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, you have like you can't. Everybody's chained sort of into the corners of the wagon, so you can't really reach each other. But yeah, no seem to get the grips.
Is there anything within hand's reach of me? Loose. On the ground. What's
You mean
around
like
me?
like in the wagon itself?
Like,
I mean outside of
I'm
the...
MacGyver. What's around?
You have your rags on you. The chains themselves, there's little bits of like dust and dirt and like there's sand. There's a little bits of sand on the bottom of the wagon. I mean, the whole thing. It's also like every single bump you hit, you feel through your spine. It's not exactly comfortable.
Can we bounce our shackles together, try to break the red stone?
Bounce the shackles to break the. So you're trying to like make it so that the stone itself hits like
Yeah,
the chain.
like this. You know.
Oh, I mean, it's a solid. The stone itself is in like a solid piece of metal, but like you can try to. I see what you're trying to do. As you try, let me think. What would that be? Well, okay. Roll a sleight of hand. As you're trying to swing around at the stone itself. Let's see how this works. It's not intuitive, but yeah, it should be the bottom skill as you're working this.
Point of order.
Oop, no, that's not what I'm taking.
Exhaustion, I believe, gives us disadvantage on ability checks.
Let's see. I should have this pulled up because it's going to come up often.
Level 2 will have disadvantage on ability checks and half speed.
So yeah, you can. So you'll have to roll that again. And yes, and he's got attack rolls and saving throws as well because he's at 3. So the 4. So you try. I mean, like as you try to swing the stone around, you can't just seem to get it to a point where any metal actually connects with where the stone is. Although as you're doing this, and as you've been bouncing around for, I mean, it's kind of hard to tell how long. You actually notice that the wagon's sort of turning, and the group seems to be coming to a stop at this point. You come to some sort of intersection in the desert, where there's more people seemingly waiting. Lie slots.
By the way, Mike, it's still a dark screen for me.
Oh, really? Hold on. Thank you. Okay. Stand by. Oh, is this going to be a...
There we go.
Okay. You've got vision. You've got vision. You've got vision. All right. That. Now I copied these over and over again. That may be a constant problem. All right. Okay. You see the Lycelots at this point sort of walk over to the front here. Drop the chest off. These two humans sort of warily walk up, grab the chest, start walking ahead. The Lycelots sort of back off. And this guy, our friendly dragon boar looking feller, walks up to the edge of the chain, or walks up to the edge of the wagon. No funny business, you four. Otherwise, I'm gonna have myself another meal.
I just turn and look at him with like hate in my eyes, and then turn away.
Through just like pure exhaustion, but fair.
Both.
That's fair.
A nice mix.
Yep. At this point, he unlocks the wagon, opens the door, and like grabs the chain that all four of you are attached to and starts pulling you out so that you all sort of are forced to like move in a line.
Are we able to shake the chain so as to maybe break one of those red stones?
I mean, again, you don't have a lot. Like you're all forced to kind of hunch, and like you're only able to shuffle your feet, and it's like you've tried to like any connection. Like the only movement you can get would be like your own wrists that you've already tried, but there's no other. I mean, you could try to like mash it into the one that's hanging down from you. If you want to, let's call, what do we want to call that? Nope, you go there. Nope, why aren't you doing what I want? Is it Alt? It's Alt, there you go.
While this is happening, Yu is smirking and chuckling to himself because, unlike the other three members of the party, that Dragonborn probably has quite a few of my hairs stuck in his teeth if he bit my neck. So, looking for silver linings here.
You go looking for it on the Dragonborn, but you don't see any like blue hair. But as you just happen to like look over at the Tabaxi feller, there is like some blue hair like stuck in his hair around the neck.
Okay, I might blow the lid on something obvious. Have I had blue hair this whole campaign and not known it till just now?
Oh wait, did you say green? Wait, what color do you think your fur blog is?
Brown.
Oh no, that brown works. I mean,
It never came up.
Headcanon for you, for me, is like Yeti, like Bigfoot.
Like,
I mean, this is what a D&D 5e. I'm throwing it into. No, it's not gonna let me. If you look up just like a 5e fur blog in Discord or like for D&D, like they have blue fur. But if you're brown, I mean, if your guy's brown, that's fine. I can imagine a brown fur blog. That's easy enough.
Well, they do. Okay, no, then I look like a normal fur blog.
We have just changed the dynamic of the entire world of Jeff's imagination for this entire campaign.
I mean,
50 episodes.
Not really. It just this is the first time that
they range. They range from earthy colors like brown and ruddy red to cool grays and blue.
Brown. That's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't like in a world full of blue fur bogs. I didn't want to be the one that's randomly around.
They vary. You're fine.
I think their skin is bluish, but the fur can be different colors.
Yeah, my headcanon has been like Chewbacca-ish.
So I should be hitting.
They're not as furry as I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, humans have different levels of hair. I mean, fur blogs can have different levels of hair.
Well, no, in all these images, like clearly you could get exposed skin on the neck. So now Yu's just laughing because he's lost it. That's all. So there wouldn't be blue. There wouldn't be like. Look at all these pictures on a Google image search. There's no Chewbacca anywhere in sight.
No, yeah, not at all.
That's what I was thinking this whole time. Is like, oh, they're kind of like Chewbacca. All right.
I mean, this is our world. I have elephant people and bear people and cat people and dragon people and wolf.
Yeah, but those are
people.
all
We can,
those are all canon races, Mike.
Lysolot's not so much, but like this can be our world. We can do whatever we want. If you want your character to look more like Chewbacca, that is
No,
100%
because
okay.
having that much fur in the desert is a disadvantage right now. So
Fair.
A little sweaty.
You may. Well, I mean, you're in the desert now. That may change. Okay, so at this
Should
point, sorry. Go ahead, Bellarmine.
Did you ask me to hit dexterity or something?
Oh, you're trying to smash. What skill would that be? I mean, let's just roll. Actually, you know what? Just roll a strength, a straight strength roll. Although again, it'll be a disadvantage because of your levels of exhaustion. And
Excuse
one
me.
more. Since you're rolling 2 to see which one's the lower. All right, so you tried, like, as you're sort of stumbling out of the wagon, like, you'd get a good, like, crackdown on the gem itself, and you think you made, like, a good connection with, like, metal to stone, but the stone itself seems stable, it seems fine, there's no cracks that run through it, despite the fact you think you got a good hit on it. To which then actually, this one who is waiting for you comes over and whacks you upside the head. It's like, hey,
He
knock
probably
that
only
off.
heard jingling of chains. Wait a minute.
I saw what you're trying to do. Knock that off. Oh, blighter. We're going to make the rest of your friends drag you through the desert. I don't think you want that much now, will you? Now come along. And they start shuffling, marching you through further sand, which, again, you guys aren't wearing any shoes. I mean, the Furbolg's feet are probably fine, but you guys are getting slowly marched through the desert at this point. Or sand at this point.
Sounds very unpleasant.
Pretty much every way. I mean, you're sore, you're in pain. There is a weird sort of ache coming from your neck. I'm probably gonna have to turn everybody's vision on again. Let's see. Who can't see right now?
Well, there's some tall things that are creating black shadows.
Yeah, but that's normal.
All right. Can everybody can see?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm just gonna have to fix Jeff's every time. All right. So they continued. So yeah, the group's sort of marching ahead. So now you're in this, like, I mean, you can kind of see what you're looking at. I mean, you've gone from sort of desert to this more of like you've left the Lysolot's behind, and now you seem to be in this weird valley space. But they are now steadily marching you through. These guys move to dragging you. Let's see, are you guys still groups? No. You are all being marched along, shuffling slowly.
Entirely drained of resources. Not a thing I can do.
As you guys get moved through the desert here, all these guys make their way forward, not through the stone, but you get the idea.
Has anybody just asked, where are you taking us?
Are you saying that out loud now?
I'm asking the players.
Nobody's. I mean, you guys. Nope. It's not so far that I know of.
Where are you taking us? Well, that was worth my time.
They continue to walk. There's not much conversation happening. Like, you'll find out. You'll find out soon enough. As you get marched steadily through.
I'm only little. I have 12 and a half movement right now.
You're moving at like 4 because, like, not only do you have half movement because you're, I mean, really your movement would be half alone just because of the shackles. Like, you can't, like, you can only shuffle your feet so far. Which now you're like working through sand. I mean, like, this is literally like a pile of bones that you're now stepping on, which is, painful.
Can I reach down and grab some bones?
I mean, you go to, like, all right, try a sleight of hand. I mean, you'd have to like fall because you can't like really shuffle with it. You'd have to fall over if you wanted to have any chance of like grabbing a bone. Was that what you try to do? Fall and grab one?
Yeah.
All right. Sleight of hand 11. So you fall,
Discord cut out.
Jeff. Jeff. I can hear you, Jeff.
Dad, your cam's all blurry. It thinks you're in the background.
There we go. You just had to move a little bit.
I don't know.
Jeff, can you hear us? I guess that's a no.
I think it's just because you're
Now
far
I can.
away.
Okay.
Now it cut out for like 20 seconds.
So as you guys are walking, Babbage just seems to collapse in the middle of the bone pile, taking
I'm so
you,
tired.
taking you and Bellarmine down with him. And Kaden in the back's just like, ah. Oh, actually, Bellarmine was in the back before. Nah, whatever. So with your like, as you fall, you grab. What kind of a bone are you trying to grab? Like, give me a size sense here.
What are the animal bones? Like, what are these animals?
I mean, it's mostly small critters, and it's mostly like small mammals. You see that like mice, maybe like a prairie dog, like some sort of bird.
Yeah, like something with the size, shape, and width of like a cat rib, smaller, like a squirrel rib.
Okay. All right, let me back up then. That's what you're looking for. Roll me perception then at disadvantage. We'll do this backward a little bit, but see if you get a DC. See if you find something with a DC of 10. Yes. So, as you're about to get through the end of the pile, you see a bone that looks exactly what you're looking for. You fall. You grab the other two, kind of come down with you because you guys are really tied tight. But you manage to find slightly larger than a cat's rib, but you grab it and I assume, what do you do with it?
Well, I try to hide it from view.
How so?
It's like that big, right? So it's just kind of like
Palm it.
my hands are together, and yeah, palm it.
Okay. Sleight of hand. All right, let's do. Nope. So you fall over, sort of bring the two other dude. So yeah, Babbage brings the two of you down, you and Bellarmine. If you have a
Not knowing what's going on, I try to haul them back to their feet. Come on. Keep going, guys. Keep going. I know it's exhausting.
I grab a handful of sand. Maybe I can throw in somebody's eyes later.
Yeah, pocket sand, everyone's favorite.
So okay, all right, so that actually works. Okay, so Bellarmine goes and grabs a bunch of sand. You roll a sleight of hand at disadvantage for me, please. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what the other one was. All right, so as you try, so yeah, actually what do you do after you fall, get pulled down?
Just kind of pick myself up, and I don't think I've done desert before, so I'm looking at it from that angle.
Fair enough. All right, so the Verblog stands back up and just sort of drags Babbage back to his feet. But while that's so, Bellarmine, as you go to grab the sand, Babbage just chain yank, like, makes it so, like, as you grab it, like, sand clearly falls out of your hand. Which causes the tabaxi to come over and whack you upside the head for, well, let's see. No, we can do.
We're all at one, by the way.
I'm aware.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's interesting. We get cudgeled.
All right, so let's see. Bellarmine's AC, I'm assuming, is like 12 without armor on.
We'll tell you.
Either way, I think it's 24 hits. So
For sure.
um,
Most assuredly.
So Bellarmine, you like stumble with the sand out of your hand, and you get gut punched by the Tabaxi and fall unconscious. To which now he says, "All right, boys, I guess you're dragon." And your large knowledge cleric is now just slumped with his chains, like making him crumpled into a little ball. But Babbage, you seem to have successfully pocketed your bone.
I'd like to inspect my manacles closely.
So
Using my intimate knowledge of mechanisms to determine how they work mechanically.
all right, so just so I understand the picture here, Canadian standing in the back wondering what the heck's happening. You stood up,
What is
pulling
going
everybody
on
back
here?
up. You're now
Well,
standing at your manacles being like,
No, while we're walking, I
Okay.
know that we're dragging Bellarmine. I get that,
okay.
but like I'm already hunched over. It stands to reason that I can peek
Take a
at
second.
them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Point of order, can we actually drag him having 2 levels of exhaustion and the fact that none of us are high strength characters and we have a
Yeah.
gnome?
I'm
So
still here
if
and
you
can
could
hear you.
all, that's fair.
We can.
If
No,
all
we
three
totally
of you can
can.
make I want all 3 of you to make strength checks, and if at a disadvantage. And if you can get if the combined number is above a 20, so I got 20,
Wow.
so I got 23 already. So yeah,
That's
so,
crazy.
I mean, it's certainly possible.
Okay.
Zach, if you wouldn't mind rolling at strength at
I
disadvantage.
roll it anyway. Okay.
Yeah, just so I wanted to see like.
Advantage. That's a save. Where is it? Hang on. Wait. Rolling strength at disadvantage. It's all the way on the left. There it is. Sorry.
Okay, so wait, 12. All right, so between
I mean,
the 3
to
of
be
you,
fair,
like,
we'd all have to roll lower than a 7, so
Yeah.
low odds.
possible with a disadvantage.
Sure.
Just saying. This isn't. I mean, it's not saying it's impossible, but it's not easy.
That tracks what you were saying though. 3 people can.
Yeah,
You'll have
3
to
people. I
drag
mean,
one
you're
more.
exhausted, so now at this point, like this, you sort of like all rotate around, and like between the 3 of you are just sort of like dragging the poor man across the desert, which is not good for his skin routine. Let's just put it that way.
Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm imagining like what it's like to. I don't. I can't remember. What's the story where they're like carrying the bridges across all the different like plateaus?
Oh yeah,
The
Stormlight
bridge
Craft.
teams.
Way of Kings.
Yeah. So like it's that. I imagine it feels like that, but you haven't actually trained for it yet. It's just like it's just utterly
Like the
exhausting.
original bridge runs.
Yeah, they're like the first bridge runs.
I just
like,
started.
oh, this is awful.
I just started
torture.
Rhythm of War today
so,
again.
Oh, there you go. I mean, I assume out of a courtesy of your friend, you're avoiding like cacti and other bones. You're dragging him across.
All the sharp stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
just, like,
unless we're walking through it ourselves, you kind of like that would just happen. We
Yeah,
would have to
that's
try
fair.
really hard to avoid.
Yeah,
the
it would have to be
cactus
intentional.
We're carrying him just off the ground and his head's
so
hanging.
as-
Excellent.
It's not like we're going so fast that if we turn suddenly he's gonna drift.
As this is occurring, I am I am gaining intimate knowledge of the mechanics of my shackles.
Okay. So it's a metal plate that's holding the stone in it, and then but there's like it's 2 individual locks that are holding the manacles of your wrists in place, but there's also a chain that runs through the same metal plate, basically on the left side that runs through, or there's like a hole on the left side of the plate where the chain's running through.
So it seems like the red gem is inhibiting magic, but the manacle's locking mechanism is mechanical. Yes.
Yes, that does.
There's a
seem to be the case.
keyhole of sorts.
Yes, there is a keyhole of sorts that it's true for both, that individual ones for both your wrists and your ankles.
Right.
And also,
I will take.
And looking around, also one that's on your neck.
Whilst walking, I will take the bone that was specifically identified and selected for this purpose, so I know it will fit, and I will use this bone as a makeshift lockpick.
So you're trying to lockpick as you walk.
Yeah.
there such a thing as double disadvantage?
Magicians do it all the time, sometimes underwater.
Right. On public display, for the record, not.
Yeah, and you
trying
can't
to
even see
hide
them
it.
do it. You can't even see them do it when they're on public display.
But their
All right.
movement is also their own. They're not like, oh, the chain's going this way and that way because of the gait of the person in front of
Listen,
me.
do you have a better idea?
I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm just.
I'm not
I
saying
want
I'm
you to
going to get
roll a sleight of
advantage and
hand.
double
I want you-
crits.
no, I want
I'm
you to
saying
roll a
that's what I'm
sleight of
trying to
hand.
do.
I want you to roll a. Let's see. Okay, I want you to roll a. You understand the mechanics of what you're looking at. You kind of think you understand the lock works.
Yeah, it's like
You're
Tinker's
working
tools.
with a. Yeah, but you don't have tools. You have a bone. So what I'll say
I have
is
improvised Tinker's tools.
yes, you have improvised Tinker's tools. You don't have like a lock picks tools that have like the
Sure.
specific ridges and things.
yeah,
You're working
I
with
get-
a single. You're working with a single point of a
I
bone.
understand that.
While also like limited by. Oh, we lost Bellarmine. At least this video, which means everybody's Discord videos out of the way. All right, but you have all right, so, and they're also like the angle's not exactly all right. So what we'll say is, I want you to roll a stealth check at disadvantage to try to hide what you're doing, and you have a sleight of hand. What is your sleight of hand? Because if the DC is too high, I'm not even gonna make you roll.
I have
What's your
plus 10
plus?
to my sleight of hand.
All right, now the DC is 25, but you also well, okay, you can
Oops.
you can do these.
I only meant to roll that once. I didn't mean to double click.
All right, so
So
the
it was
14
on
got
stealth.
it. Okay, and then roll sleight of hand at disadvantage. We can Bellarmine.
Well, I'll just take those dice rolls. But instead of +2, it's +10. So add another 8.
So 30 and 28.
Yeah.
18? Wait.
No,
18
28
and
and
16.
28 and
28 and 26.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, hold on. So let's see. Nope, that's not what I meant. All right, we got the knowledge clerk back. Hooray. All right, so you're to 14 to his 26. All right. So as you get to the end of the, actually, hold on. This is gonna take. I'll say this takes a minute. So I'm gonna move you guys to here because I'm gonna say this is not a. It's not a fast process, especially when you're working.
Oh, before the outcome is determined, I want it to be known that I want to unlock them, but keep them on me. I'm not trying to remove them just yet.
Got it. Oh, okay, hold on. Can everybody see the map?
Yes.
Can anybody not see the map? Let's put it that way. I hear no no's. Okay. Okay, so all right, you managed to undo the lock mechanism on your left wrist, but as you do so, that's right, Bellarmine's out. As you do so, the Dragonborn comes up, snatches the bone out of your hand, and says, "Oh, we're being tricky, aren't we?"
That's my prayer ritual.
And proceeds to stab
I
you.
was praying with.
I'm gonna say the 27 hits. And you and Kanadin, I now need the two of you to make strengths rolls at disadvantage, and the two of you need to get together above a 30.
I sigh. And...
Uh,
Oh no!
the poor,
It hit the ground.
so the poor Furblog trips and falls in the middle of all this. Gosh, do I want to have you like take a point of damage? That would just be mean. Okay.
Then we all just done.
Right, hey, That's
Double
what
G
used to
again.
happen when you roll the critical miss.
Roll me a dex save at disadvantage with a DC of 10. Let's see what this does. Because you would naturally not try to hurt yourself, but you're also utterly exhausted and in pain.
Only a DC of 10?
Yeah.
Am I rolling death saves, by the way?
No.
Okay.
All right,
Am
so
I rolling my
Jeff.
dex too?
No, because Jeff's the one that rolled the 1 on the strength save.
Mhm.
So, like, Babbage goes down.
Humble.
He tumbles. Babbage, roll me a D4. Something bad happens on a 1 or a 2. Or undesirable on a 1 or 2.
I'm confused. On my dexterity save, I don't have proficiency with it, but the modifier is a 4, but my actual dex modifier is a 3, and I can't figure out where I would get a +1 to a dex save from.
I don't know.
Is it an item or a tattoo?
Yeah, I'd have
No.
to play with it. Okay. Babbage goes down, and unfortunately, because he's unconscious, he sort of flops, and his left wrist pops out of the manacle that he'd undone.
Oh, no.
To which the Dragonborn is like, oh, clever little tinker. Clicks his left wrist back into place, makes sure that proceeds to then take the bone that Babbage was using and uses it as like a toothpick. And it's like, actually, he just stabbed you with it, so he's actually licking it like a popsicle at this point.
Jeez.
To which the dwarf kind of walks back and is like, the two of you that are still conscious, like, you guys just can't stop causing trouble, can you? Hey, George, you're gonna have to help haul these punks. This guy comes walking over, grabs one of the chains and starts helping the two of you to just drag your friends through the sand. While this is happening, you and Canadin, you look around and you realize you're walking through what looks to be like a makeshift graveyard. Like, these are all like cairns
They're gonna kill us, aren't they?
as they're
Mike.
dragging you through. Yes.
I think I'm down too, because I just realized I think I have a random phantom +1 to all my saving throws. I don't know why.
Oh, so you should have rolled a 9 there?
Yeah. Like, for instance, I have a +2 to my strength saving throw, but only a +1 strength modifier with a strength of 12. And even if I had an item, we have no items. And I have no abilities that would give me...
Right. Okay. Well, that's fine. For the sake of... Well, you can correct that from here on out. I mean, for the sake of the storytelling, I'm just going to keep you conscious for the moment. And for this... All right, so this guy's now helping drag Bellarmine and Babbage unconscious through the sand. I mean, you'll see that the Tabaxi like comes up and makes sure that you guys aren't like bleeding out. To which he then like says like, I don't want my food going bad. Don't stab them too hard.
Mm-hmm.
The Dragonborn's like, fine, I'll try to be more gentle. You just need to tell them to stop trying to just
Food.
I don't know why they can't accept our fate. And they continue to move you basically through this grave site, basically off into the southeast, and I will spare everybody. As you move through, come on, roll 20. Are you guys on a new map? I can't.
No,
I'm on the gravestone map. Oh, now it's
There we
changed.
There we go.
Alright,
No switch.
And can everybody see?
Yes.
I keep saying
Yes.
the wrong question. Can anybody not see?
Did you make this map? This is nice incarnate.
Ah, that's not what to do.
Oh,
Oh.
and now I can't see.
Yep. I made a mistake. Hold on. I accidentally moved you guys to the wrong layer. What I was trying to do was ungroup.
There we go.
Now I can see.
Okay. I mean, all right. The two of you are unconscious. You know this. All right. So you're dragged.
Did you build this or find this?
I find all my maps.
It's a nice build.
Well, actually, that's right. This guy's dragon. So all right. You and Canadin, are you guys doing anything else as you're getting waltzed through this area?
I'm just trying to stay on my feet here.
Okay.
Yeah, same here. Nothing
okay.
special.
So there's no access we've come to.
You have gone
No,
quiet.
it's technically It's technically different tokens because we're on a new map. So assume that we're still down.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I'm dragging you all as a group through the space. I mean, the two of you that are still conscious are happy that you're now not on sand anymore. You've actually seemed to have transitioned into like more of like a balmy, humid climate. So you're not humid really. It'd still be very dry at this point. But you actually like it's like as you've gone through this valley, you've seen it like suddenly there seems to be more brush and like greenery as you move through down, continuing off to the southeast, where you then find yourself here. With this guy dragging along. So you find yourselves there, candidate and you, sort of walking through the edge of a village. As you guys are getting, well, two of you are being sort of dragged and pulled. Actually, at this point, the bandit, the guy that was helping dragging, sort of gets fed up, walks over, or actually grabs the keys from the tabaxi, walks over, undoes the manacles undoes the chain that's connecting you to the rest of you, and then just sort of lugs him over your shoulder like a fireman carry, essentially.
It's just easier than tracking them.
Yeah, he's just like, this is just simpler.
I had a cloak of protection, Mike, so that would have been taken.
You figured it out. Okay. Let's see. Come on.
It's just Canaan since we actually rolled it all out.
Gotcha. All right, so he's now just dragging. So he's just now carrying Babbage. But the two of you notice that you guys are getting like, as you're walking through town, you're getting scowls.
We are, or the
No, you
handlers are. Oh.
Like they're looking at you with like disdain.
What the hell do we do?
As you guys
These are all the
walking.
bandits' wives.
Hey, you're dead. You're not dead. You're unconscious. But yeah, no, one of them literally. I mean, to Jim / Babbage's unconscious point.
Oh wow!
One of the commoners literally walks up to you and is like takes this like rotten piece of fruit and throws it at you, Canaan. And like your monk-like reflexes try to like grab it, but like the manacles catch. Like you try to catch it, but the manacles catch. And no, she says something to the effect of like, "I want my husband back." So Jim, trying to be silly, actually touched on what is happening here. Yeah, so you're now being paraded through town with a whole lot of like upset commoners that are basically taking turns like throwing obscenities at you, like throwing. I keep losing people on Discord.
I'm here. I need to get out of this shirt that I worked in all day. Give me a sec.
Fair enough. Just throw off all my videos.
Just messes up the frames when your video goes off. That's all.
Yes, that's all.
Listen, if we were live streaming and making money off of it, I would wear this nasty, sweaty shirt. But
we are live streaming. I don't know how much money we're making.
You guys are making money?
Live streaming to a sizable audience.
Fair enough.
Well, now you're just splitting hairs.
So rather than like moving the tokens, since the two of you don't seem to be doing much else besides like, so now like Babbage is spared this, as is Bellarmine, but the two of you like, but that doesn't stop like.
No, I'm with them. There is no way I would have rolled. Like, unless you're telling me they forgot to take the cloak of protection and they took everything else.
Well, okay, in that case, yeah, all right. So Katadin, you're the only one who's conscious, as everybody else is getting. Your two friends are being dragged unconscious. One of them poorly just because he fell and like hit a rock. So Katadin's the only one conscious to see this parade through town of like a lot of people that are like there's several wives, a few like elderly men, a couple of children, and like all of them are just staring daggers at you. You don't really, I mean, that's up to you whether or not how you feel about it, because you're also like getting all this through exhaustion. But yeah, like your body, like the friends, you're like people come up and actually kick, like Bellarmine and you. Actually, no, they come up and kick you too. I mean, you guys like they'll just come up and like swipe at you. A couple kids
I
like
mean,
like throwing sticks, throwing rocks.
yeah, when I hear that lady say, "I want my husband back," I kind of put two and two together and say, "Ah, this is the family village." Okay,
And they
great.
continue to sort of create. I mean, you're dragged through like more and more of the town here. I'm just not moving all your tokens down to make my life simple. But yeah, no, that's like all. I mean, you're walking through all these different village sort of huts and towns, until you get to. Come on, roll 20, work with me. There we go. What appears to be like you're at the edge of what you imagined used to be a peninsula, but is now like the edge of like you're looking now. You're starting to like see the edge of like clouds. Continuing to get booed, continuing to get yelled at, continuing to get like sticks, stones. Again, like raw vegetables. Somebody may have
Do any of
actually.
those stones or sticks hit me?
Yeah. You try to like catch one.
They don't do damage.
Would they do any
Oh.
damage at
I'm
all?
No, I'm not saying a stone thrown by a child is enough to do a hit point of damage to you. No.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm
Okay.
just saying you guys are at your
I want
dire
to make
straits
sure
for
that I'm not
yeah,
down
like
too.
I mean I could. I mean
A crit is a crit, Mike.
let the
Pebble
DM
thrown
have
by
his
a
narrative moment.
5-year-old.
If you're all unconscious, then I just have to skip to the end of all this. I'm trying to give you guys information here, but you know what? That's fair. Let's do this. I can't if I'm gonna do. Let's see, 5d20. All right, none of those are 20s. Okay. All right, so
Close.
Kanadin, since you're the only one conscious at this point, you're paraded. I'll just drag your token just so you can see where I'm putting you. I mean, the group that has like the chest and has been escorting you, the three guys in red. No one seems to notice or care about them. You do actually see like the other guys that are escorting you, like actually stop and seem to like greet what you assume are their wives or partners or whatever they are in the situation. And there's this door here. So as you look south, Kanadin, you're looking like out at open sky. So like you're at the edge of, yeah, like what do you think these used to be like piers that would have been like over the water, but instead are like now on like bedrock that then opens out to, yeah, just nothing. You are then dragged. Actually, at this point, I did that earlier in a moment. Let's see. You're dragged into here.
Dark again. Sorry, Mike.
You're unconscious anyway. Oh, wait
It's
a minute.
totally dark for
It's
me.
dark for everybody because I didn't actually populate the tokens on this map. Never mind. You know what? At this point, I'm gonna say they actually just put a bag over your head anyway, Kanadin.
That's fair. That's reasonable too.
So after Kanadin, for you, what goes by is like, I mean, like you're exhausted, you're tired, you're being dragged through, and you're happy at this point to like there's no more like raw like rotten fruits and vegetables and like possibly other things from an outhouse that were thrown at you.
Oh my.
So like that's no longer happening. But after about 10, so Kanadin, what you experience. So you got a mug over your head. Someone's dragging you along. You're still pulling your friends. So you have a hat on. You go inside a building. You feel yourself go down like a wooden set of stairs, and then you feel you're on stone ground, in what sounds like a very echoey space. You hear like water dripping in places, and then you hear what sounds like tinking and like clanking of metal on stone, sort of echoing off in the distance as you continue to like shuffle forward on your feet as you're sort of dragged and pulled. You're walking down. Now you feel yourself walking down like stone steps.
Sorry about that.
The clinking gets louder, and then like you go, the clinking, the echoing seems to get a little bit louder. It still seems off in the distance. You seem to go what sound like narrower passageways as you shuffle through. Again, all sounds like you're underground. It's all just sort of dark. You don't like, even if the hood over your head, it seems like there's a lot less light. You continue to shuffle through what you believe is just sort of a narrow tunnel, and then all of a sudden you come into what sounds like a very large open space with a lot of loud clinking and smashing, or like clinking of stone on metal, like tink 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 tink. What sounds like metal rubbing on other forms of metal, just like. You feel yourself then walking. You go from walking on stone to walking on wood, like creaking underneath you as you move. Yes, that's the sound. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Is that not what you? That okay? I mean,
No,
I
I was
just
just fidgeting.
Here.
You're just fidgeting.
Just fidgeting.
So you're walking on stone planks. It's a huge space. You go back and forth from stone plank or wooden planks to like back on like earth ground to stone to wood planks to stone. You do this a couple times until you for about 5-6 minutes, and you get turned around because you're like turned multiple times. You're not going straight. Like sometimes you get turned right, then you get turned left. You feel like you do like a U-turn. A couple times you're going downstairs, so you have a sense that you're underground fairly far. Like you're not sure how many, like 4 or 5 stories maybe. You're not sure. And then it gets quieter again as you feel yourself in more of a narrow space. But now you're on what feels like flat stone, like almost either tile or polished or something that seems much more like it's not nearly as like rocky, pointy, stony. Like you're on smooth stone. It's wet, but you're still on like smooth stone. The echoey seems to be all coming behind you. You're moved across. You turn a couple times. You move across a wooden plank. You hear a door opening closed, and then you hear the sound of the chains. What you believe to be the connections of the chains to your friends disconnected. You're still manacled, and then you're hauled. You hear a metal door opening. Your head's put off. You're shoved into what you can now see, and then the door is closed behind you. And now, yeah, you are now in the room that you are in that you can actually, I believe you can all see at this point. Yeah, so you're shoved there. You believe you came from this direction.
You walked in.
Your friends have been unconscious for like a couple hours at this point, or at least you think they are. But yeah, you should be trapped in there. And then I'll say shortly after you guys are all dropped in your respective rooms, someone comes along and like, well, so Bellarmine, somebody like you're come to because someone like pours a bucket of where is he? I'll just say this guy. You come to with a bucket of water thrown in your face. With this guy sort of saying, or yeah, this guy sort of steps over you, throws a bucket in your face. You come conscious, see yourself in the surroundings you find yourself in. There's like a stone, or not a stone. There's like a wooden plank with a chain that is presumably a bed, as well as a chamber pot of sorts. Basically a bucket in one corner of the room. Candid and you're in similar combinations. And the guy kind of walks off and he goes, "Have fun being food." And closes the door behind him.
Food.
You find yourself. What can you see? That's not what I meant to do. You find yourself in a room that's got, well, basically the room you're in. There is in fact a table and 3 chairs and what appears to be just 2 pieces of paper, and like a broken twig. You are still manacled. You're still got your magic gems sort of tied around you. But yeah, you're not. That's an actual like wooden door that you've got in front of you, not metal bars. And Babbage, where's? Hold on. Oh crud! Give me a second. I gotta grab my other two. Put them. Where's? They go. Nope. Go there. Apologize. The DM needs a minute. Set himself up. Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah. Babbage, you find yourself also like awoken with a bucket of water. This guy standing over you, just saying, "Don't try any funny business." Steps out. You hear him lock the door behind you and disappear.
I didn't see a guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry. That was all for Jeff. Babbage. Let's see. You come to in a room that has sort of a sconce here with a torch lit that's allowing you to see. There are 3 beds, and you have these 2 standing over you.
Hello, ugly.
Look, little man. We know you can't help yourself when it comes to... Sorry, this is the Dragonborn. Look, little man, we know you can't help yourself when it comes to trying to find things to tinker with. You're lucky we don't have more cells that we can use to just house you. But you try any more funny business, we're going to throw you over the side. As much as I like my food.
Side of what?
The cliff of the island. So, as much as we like our food, we don't like it so much of it because it's trouble. So maybe keep it easy. To which the Tabaxi sort of turns, looks at you, is like, and remember, I can come up to you if you don't even see me coming. So I suggest that you make sure you don't try to be tricky for business.
So let me get this straight. My options are be eaten by you or be killed by you. That's what you're telling me?
To which the 2 of them just sort of laugh and chuckle and then walk out.
You're not making a good argument to not cause trouble.
That's a fair point.
See what happens. You will see what happens if you try to cause trouble. Maybe we throw your other friends over the side if you give us trouble, eh? How's that for motivation for you?
I assume they're also in the refrigerator, so it's kind of the same situation.
With that, they close the door.
I immediately start looking around for something to tinker with.
We'll go around the room. All right, so Katadin, since you have at least been conscious this entire time, are you doing anything in your room at the moment?
No, as soon as I get into the room, I'm going to take that opportunity to kind of assess the situation, realize that I can't get out of that cage, and sit down and begin to go into a trance, a meditative trance, just to try to get some strength back.
Okay. All right. I'll buy that for $1. All right. Bellarmine.
There's some light in the room, yes?
There does appear... Hold on. I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's see. There is a sconce providing light here, and there appears to be a sconce providing light here.
And how, am I chained, or am I able to move around?
You can shuffle... So you have your wrists are still chained to your... You've got your neck is got chained... is like at the end of the link that goes through the chains that is the manacles of your wrists, that then goes down and is connected to the chains at your ankles. So you can shuffle around the room.
Can I swing my arms?
Yeah, got some swinging motion.
And there's a lot of stone and maybe some iron.
You've got iron
things.
bars in front of you. You're surrounded by stone walls. Yeah.
So I wheel off as hard as I can and try to bust that stone against the iron bar.
Okay. Roll strength. Let's call that athletics. Let's roll athletics at disadvantage. So roll 2, either at disadvantage or roll 2 athletics. 15. All right. So again, you like it makes a ringing sound of like bing as you clang the stone, the crystal into the
Who hears the ringing sound?
Canaan certainly does. Actually no, you and Babbage not so much.
I hear it, but I just it gets blocked and gets put to the back of my mind.
Oh, because you're yep. All right, fair. Let's see. That sound brings these two out. Oi! You know that's what are you trying to do there, old man? We give you a book to read so you can keep yourself entertained. Greeted with a grim, determined silence. You're gonna make me have somebody stay and watch you, won't you? I think I'm starting to think these guys are more trouble than they're worth. Just you know what she said. She wants to have a steady stream of food that's not the people around here. Like, yeah, I get it. They've also been a giant pain in the sides. Fair. Last warning, bub. We're gonna keep you unconscious. Thrown off for a while.
What is the time of day?
You have no idea.
What was the time of day when last I saw the daylight?
Midday.
Okay.
All right. So they're pondering in front of you, Bellarmine, for a second. You, what are you doing?
Well, oh no, never mind.
Jeff.
What's the light source?
You have a sconce over here.
But I can't reach it, right?
I mean, you're 6 foot tall. You probably could, actually.
Probably more than 6.
You know, higher sconce-
base
how
height
high
is
sconces?
6. Furbog's base height is 6'2".
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
I'm
exactly.
7'8".
Yeah.
So yeah, you can reach the sconce.
And it's what latched into the wall, and is it oil or is it a candle?
It's a torch that's jammed in there.
Can I reach the torch?
You can.
They
Can I
left
try
a
to pull it
prisoner
out?
with reachable fire. Phenomenal.
What's that, Jeff?
Can I pull the torch out of the wall?
I mean, yeah, it comes out of the sconce, yeah.
Okay. Don't like being penned in. And
I can
they
hear.
didn't seem to pay much attention to me, so what's the torch made of? Is it wood? Is it metal?
It's wood. I mean, the torch itself is. I mean, the sconce is metal that the torch was sitting in, but the torch is like it seems to be something that they have to come in and replace. Or you almost get a sense that like maybe this room isn't used very often, so they just kind of threw this in. It's a very rudimentary torch. It probably would only last maybe a couple hours.
Is it particularly cold in there?
It's probably around 45 degrees.
So chilly, but not damage worthy. I'm gonna blow out the torch,
Okay.
and then try to sit against the wall with my hands behind me, with the torch behind me.
So you're gonna
So-
like sit here, basically.
Yeah. Or here.
Oh, you have night vision, don't you?
No.
Don't have dark vision. So you're just sitting in the dark. I'm trying to think.
I do. I have
Well,
shadow essence.
What does that get you?
That's the tattoo.
How far is your
Shadow
dark vision?
tattoo. The whole
60.
room.
Got it. Okay, just want to make sure. All right. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why that's happening in dynamic lighting. Hold on. What the hell?
One of these guys in front of me has a red.
That would be an effect, though, of not having lighting in the room. Is suddenly you like if there was like you said it's an
peeking
old
through a
disused
hole.
room.
Yeah. Hold on. That's a hole in the. That's kind of an amusing hole in the wall. Hold on. How do I make that go away? How does that happen? Oh, it's just it's okay. That's fine. All right. That's rather amusing. Okay. All right. So you're sitting waiting in case anybody comes in.
Yep, with the torch readied.
Got it. Okay.
One of these guys in front of me has a red dot. What's that mean?
He was concentrating on a spell way back when. No longer. Okay. All right. So Canadan's resting. Bellarmine's attempting to break his stone in whatever way he can. You is patiently waiting to ambush somebody, and Babbage. All right. So you're in a room. You two have a sconce north of you, although you cannot reach it. There's 3. They look like beds. They're really just sort of wooden plank. At the moment, they're just essentially wooden planks. There's no sheets. There's no pillows. There's actually, yeah, that's all there really is in there. Your light source and 3 pieces of wood that are nailed together.
Nailed?
Yeah. I don't know how else they'd be put together. It's not like
Are any of the nails loose, or can I get my fingers around any of them?
I'm gonna give you a 37% chance. No. None of the nails seem to be they're all pretty sturdily in there, in the 4 beds that you have. Are you attempting so you're pulling at them, you're lifting them up, you're looking around them. Are you attempting to be quiet?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure I understand what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sawing wood construction project. What's up with this door?
It's a solid wooden, I want to say oak door. It has a window, a barred window that's only about, I don't know, 6 inches square. That is too high for you to see into. With a solid-looking with a solid metal lock and a ball handle. That is, you heard them lock as they left.
Is there a keyhole?
Yes, you can. Would you be from at your current height? Wait, hold on, let me think. Yeah, you can see through the keyhole. Okay, give me a second.
Can I see through the keyhole?
Let me see how I can make that happen. Roll 20. Stand by. Let's do that. Nope, let's. Can I just make you?
I can use Alt to slowly move around and scan the room with that little hole.
That'll work. Yeah, so you can see that.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
As you're standing there, this one gets out and leaves. But as you're watching, the woman in red, who you have seen before,
she's the one that made the red dome thing.
Say more.
The red dome thing when we first lost River and we were trapped in a cage of red energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was the one who caused. Yeah, she cast Force Cage on the group when you were exchanging River for the sword.
Right.
Way back when. So yes, you have seen her before, and she is. You actually, she. Let me think. What would you see? Let me think. The keyhole's there. Right about desk level. All right, so you see her actively working. She's got several different, what looks like booklets and pages out. You recognize. I don't know if you would recognize or not. Roll me a history check. DC 10, you're disadvantaged for everything, so. Okay. Yeah, you see her looking through. She's just going through what looks like several different piles of books, sort of in a disorganized mess. Clearly, like racking her brain about something. Yeah, you witness her like. There's clearly a source of light in there. Actually, no, you can tell that there's a sconce over here that's creating a source of light. Yeah, and you just see her sort of pondering very intently at lots of different documents on the table.
I really, really, really want to do something, but I have a limited number of some things that I can do, and I don't have enough information to make it worth my while yet. I'm gonna talk through the keyhole and say, "Any chance I could get something to eat?"
She seems like startled at first. That, yeah, she sort of startled for a second, looks over at you confusingly, sort of like,
Hello,
eyes.
anybody there?
You're that tinkerer, aren't you?
What?
The tinker.
Huh?
Right.
Are you bringing food? Is someone there?
She gets up and like walks out of the room.
The moment she walks out of the room,
Yep.
I'm gonna use my ghostly step tattoo to go incorporeal, slide into the room.
You try to do that.
Oh, come
the
on!
The moment you activate the tattoo, like the tattoo goes like active as you will it to be, and then as you try, like think you can mold into the door, that stone on your manacle glows brightly again and sort of suppresses your ability, and the use of the go tattoo is burned out.
I go to sleep. That's so disappointing.
All right, so Babbage goes and lies down on a plank of wood. Okay. Let's see.
About to throw myself off the cliff.
Kaden, you're at the edges of your consciousness. You hear. Well, actually, hold on. So you're waiting patiently. I imagine you'd be willing to wait for a while. Kaden's still meditating. All right, Bellarmine, you have these two sort of talking among themselves in front of you. Are you trying anything else while they're standing there, or are you waiting patiently?
No, I am. Is there oil in the lamp or the torch?
What can you see? No, it looks like it's just a normal like wooden torch that seems to be. Well, I mean, I don't know if you would know this. It looks like it's a wooden torch that's had like cloth wrapped around it and oil maybe soaked into it to keep it lit for a while.
And are these guys watching me, or are they just not paying attention?
A little bit of both. So like they're talking amongst each other, but like occasionally looking back and eyeing you to see if you'll, yeah, like eyeing you and then coming back and discussing again, sort of in hushed tones.
So while they're not paying attention,
well, so actually, I'll hold that thought. You see this woman step out of the door here, and sort of address. Actually, what's his? Let's see. She steps out and goes, "Youth, find food so that these guys don't starve to death." Fine. You're trying to make me to do one of these things, obnoxious things. Give me a moment. I'll go find one of the local people to get them some food. He steps away. He was not. The lady in red walks up to this guy. Fire, are you gonna just keep your eye on the old man the entire time? Is that your plan? He's trying to do something. I figure we should keep tabs on him, or maybe we have to maintain him unconscious or do some sort of other more magical lock. I think he's going to not be anything but trouble. To which she replies, I'll handle it. Go take care of what we discussed. Aye, ma'am. And the Dragonborn walks off. She turns around and sort of eyes you patiently. And at that, after about another 20 seconds, the tabaxi walks back in with another bandit in behind, holding trays of food. So he comes up, slides like a wooden tray that's got what appears to be some like moldy bread, and no, that's about it. He throws you like a bunch of moldy bread. There, that should hold him up for a bit. She kind of eyes the bandit character like, we need to sustain these people. What are you doing? Fine, I'll get them something else. He then also puts a cup of water like down and slides it with his foot underneath the grate. Comes down this way. Kaden, at the edge of your consciousness, you sense that somebody is putting a tray of food and water near you as you're meditating. Let's see. He then comes through here. Babbage, you said you were trying to sleep. You hear, how would this work? I guess there would be a wooden slit, wouldn't there? Yeah, you hear like a wooden slit at the bottom of the door, which you would have noticed before. I apologize if that changes what you would have done. And like a wooden plank, a wooden tray slides in with some pieces of bread, and then a small metal cup with water is put inside the door. With the slit closes, he leaves. Anybody gonna do anything about this information while I keep going?
Yeah, I'm gonna retrieve the tray and water and food, eat and drink, and then inspect the wooden tray and metal cup closer to ascertain more details.
Okay. As you do that, your moment, you hear someone approaching the door. Some keys are unlocked, and this guy walks in with a tray of food and water that he then proceeds to start leaning down and put on the ground in front of you as he's looking at you, kind of confused, looking around in the dark.
I'll kind of start to stand up a little bit and be like, "Oh, you does not like the dark. You does not like the dark."
To which the guy's like, "What happened to the torch? All right, let me see if I can get you another one." And he turns around.
Think. I don't have a button for it.
Are you trying to do it? You trying to do an improvised weapon, or like
Yeah.
club? Just like you could try just drag club in from the.
Whoa, you're gonna give Torch club stats?
What's it? It's what, like a D4?
D6
Oh, all
plus
right.
strength mod.
I mean, I don't know. Improvised weapon.
Rules is written: if you make a melee attack with a burning torch and hit, it deals 1 fire damage.
Okay, so you're gonna do. All right. So yeah,
It's not burning anymore.
Yeah, it's
Right,
not burning
so it
anymore.
would be like 1 bludgeoning damage.
1 bludgeoning damage. That's. I feel like that's less than he could just use with his own fists. So I'm gonna make it a 1d2.
That
But
is less
anyways,
than I got my fists.
So it's.
I mean, it's metal. It's a metal sconce, right? It's got a little bit of heft to it.
Well, the
No,
torch
it's
is just a wooden torch.
The wooden torch. The sconce itself is like attached to
Oh,
the
so
wall.
it was just a lit wooden torch. It's not like a wooden torch with a metal head or cast.
No. Does that change what your
Yeah.
plan is?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing at this point then?
The torch is lit, and I'm making shadow puppets on the ceiling.
All right, you have food that has been provided to you, and he walks out and locks the door back up behind him.
Are
Okay.
these two guys still watching me, or?
She, after food's been delivered, walks back into her room and disappears.
Is this guy watching, or?
He's sort of eyeing you. Yeah. He's eyeing you, but then comes into here. Can you see?
So I squeeze out some of the oil for the torch, put it around my wrists.
Whoa. Hold on. What torch? The torch is here. You don't have a torch in your room with you.
I thought there was light as a torch in the room.
No. Your sources of light are this torch that's here and this torch that's over here.
Oh, I thought Jeff had a torch in his room. I had a torch in mine.
Jeff does have a torch in his room. You do not.
Right. Well, I still attempt to make my hand as small as possible and pull off the shackles from my hand.
Okay. Let's call that a DC 20 sleight of hand at disadvantage. So as best as you try to maybe put the metal bar between your wrists in between and try to squeeze, your wrists just aren't. They're just your hands are just too big and the metal's just too solid. So your attempt to break out of that is sadly unsuccessful.
And I inspect every square inch of the chain and the shackle.
All right. Roll an investigation for me. Again, that disadvantage. Okay. So you pour over every single nook and cranny of your. I'm gonna say this takes you a couple minutes. You got nothing else going on. So you're looking as you try as you can. You're rotating every single chain link. You're looking through to see if there's any sort of weakness at any point. I would say, where am I getting feedback from? Oh, that's weird. Why am I getting air? I'm getting air noises from you, Bellarmine. Put it back on the mic. I don't know why I'm suddenly picking up noises. So as you're pouring through, you come to see that maybe getting dragged across the ground for a while. Maybe did a number on one of the chain, and there does appear to be one of the links that's connecting your ankles. Looks like it may be rusted and near, possibly rusted and in far less good condition than the rest of the chains on your person.
With all my strength, I try to snap it.
All right. Roll strength save. I'm gonna call that a DC 10 at disadvantage. So you try to just smash it against the, I don't know, probably the door itself, as hard as you can, but just your own personal exhaustion seems to just cause you to give out, and it does not snap as much as you would have liked, or it just doesn't break. So you'll have to attack that at a different angle. All right.
I also inspect the socket that this stone is in. See if so maybe the stone can get out.
Okay, I'll pause you on that. We'll get back to you. Kanadin, you're continuing to meditate? All right.
Yep, I'm hoping to try to get 4 hours.
Got it. Okay. All right. Babbage, you have Are you eating the food? Start there.
I smell the food.
Okay. As best as you can tell, it's not moldy or yeah, it seems fine. It smells like stale bread.
Okay. I'll eat a little bit of it because I am hungry.
Okay. Goes
And
down
I'll
just fine.
smell the water.
You do smell the water because you are parched. Very much so. It does nothing off about the smell.
I'll have some of that water.
In fact, from what I understand, if you actually are starved of water, you can start to smell it pretty distinctly. No, you taste the water and it seems fine. I mean, lukewarm, but and the bit of like sediment in it. It's not the purest
Yeah,
water
that's
you've
fine.
ever had.
Any trace metals that might be ingesting?
Not that you can tell.
I will finish off the water. What is this cup made of? You said metal. What kind of metal?
What would a I don't know. What would a tin? I don't know, tin? Would that make sense?
Could be tin. Could be pewter. Could be aluminum. I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna say they gave you a very rudimentary pewter cup.
Okay. Okay. Pretty soft and malleable, workable metal.
Yes.
This tray, dimensions?
2 by 1. It's tiny.
Inches?
No, feet.
So 24 by 12. How thick is it?
1/4 inch.
24 by 12, 1/4 inch. What kind of wood?
Oak.
Hardwood. Okay. What kind of shape is it in?
Rectangular, rounded
No.
corners.
Like, is it sanded and oiled like a cutting board, or is it ratty and splintered and old and dry?
Oh, no. It actually seems to be like it's in a discarded cutting board.
Okay. It's got some heft to it. That's a
Yes.
club. What am I wearing?
Rags, cloth, like thin
Like
cloth.
burlap sack, like shirt and pants.
Yeah, basically.
So I said two different things.
Oh, burlap. No, no, burlap sack. Like it's like you're like almost like a giant like dress.
Okay. Is it made of like thick woven fibers like burlap, or is it more like a muslin or a linen?
It's burlap.
Excellent. Burlap's pretty easy to unweave, which will give me some string.
Okay. Yeah, you can make string out of your clothes.
Yeah. I'd like to unweave the bottom several inches of my robe evenly, and then use those fibers to make myself like a 4-foot long length of cord.
Okay. That'll take you a few minutes, and that'll be hard to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna take you like not. You're exhausted. You're tired. Your hands are kind of shaky. You're exhausted. But yeah, no, that'll take you some time. But okay, that goes on for a bit. Okay. 10:37, 11. Okay. Are you doing anything else at this point?
No, I think probably 10, 15 minutes into making shadow puppets, I would either crawl into bed. In fact, where is the bed? It's right here.
You don't have a bed.
Oh, I don't have a bed.
Nope.
Is this straw on the ground over here?
Sure.
All right. I would make a nest and
All right.
yeah.
Try to get some rest in. Okay. All right. So, nesting furblog, meditating monk, roping tinker, Bellarmine. The sock. So the metal plate itself is about half an inch thick. How do I describe this? I mean, the stone appears to be like the metal seems to have been, I guess, welded around it. So like maybe it would have been like the plate was two different pieces of metal that then got welded so that the stone was sort of cinched in place. And you have it. I mean, it looks like the stone itself is maybe sticks out about an inch out of the metal plate on either side, but it's definitely the widest point seems to be in the middle of the metal plate.
But it is, and the housing, the poles, the stone, also attached to the
The DM does not know how to put this into words. I mean,
something was got me disassembled.
right. I mean, I'm gonna rivets maybe. Does that make sense? Like,
is there stone around there?
I mean, it's metal points. I wish.
I'm
I mean,
talking about stone in this room.
Oh. I mean, you're in a stone room. The whole walls are made of stone. I mean, you could could look.
So I
Say again?
begin to rub the rivets on the stone to wear them out so I can pop this thing off.
Okay. All right. That's gonna make a bunch of noise.
Not really. Not a lot of stuff if I get off of it.
So you're doing that. You're doing this up against the wall.
Or wherever there's stone that I can get access to. So the stone
I mean, you've got it's. I mean, you're in a semicircular wall. The ceiling's flat above you. About. I mean, the room itself is about 6 feet tall.
But there's a
Stone.
place-
I guess the ground. I mean, the ground. I guess would probably be your
is
best
there a
bet.
stone bench that I'm sitting on?
It's a wooden bench. It's like a wooden plank that's suspended off of the walls from chains. So like you got the wooden plank, and then like at the ends of the corner, the furthest corners of the wall are chains that are then like 45 degrees up attached to the wall.
The chain's loose, so the old taken off.
They're not. They're not very old. And they're not loose. They're taut. I mean, if you like, you could bend the whole. The wood itself is also, I guess, hinged to the wall, so you could like fold the whole thing up, and that causes the chains to go slack.
But sitting on the bench on this suspended wooden plank,
Yep.
I can reach the wall and right.
So you start rubbing and try to rub the stone plank against the wall. Okay. All right. Okay. Is there anything that would trigger you to stop doing this, or you're just gonna keep doing it no matter if you hear any noises or?
If somebody's coming.
Okay. All right. I'll say you hear there is a point where like you hear the door nearby open up and close. I assume you stop. You're like lying down on the, like you're doing it against the wall. I assume you're like lying down on the bench at this point. So like you can almost like pretend you're sleeping. Is that the idea?
Yeah, or I don't know if that's worthwhile doing that or taking a long rest, but I think I'll do that.
Okay. All right. So you start rubbing at that. You think you hear the tabaxi sort of go down the long hallway and close the door. Okay. That's going to take some time.
Should take too long to wear the ribbons out. It gets rough.
Probably not. All right. Okay. Babbage, what are you doing with this rope you've made over the course of like an hour?
So, The mug. If I grab the container of the cup and the handle of the mug and I try to bend it, is the metal so soft that the handle can bend, or is it stiff, sturdy?
Roll a strength at disadvantage for me.
Oh, okay. I'm not necessarily trying to bend it. I'm just trying to gauge its strength. But okay.
No, okay. In that case, roll an investigation at disadvantage. All of these things, working through murky, very tired, sore bodies. You surmise that it's too solid for you to be able to bend it, especially in your current condition.
I will use this cord and this now determined to be solid connecting handle. Yep. And I will tie the cord to the handle to make myself essentially a flail.
All right. You've got yourself an improvised flail.
I'm tinker crafting a flail.
Okay.
I will then tie said flail around my waist underneath my burlap robes.
Okay.
To conceal it.
Got it. You now have a improvised flail -1.
-1.
I mean, it's improvised.
I'm very good. No worries.
With burlap rope and a porcelain.
Okay.
Not porcelain,
I'm fed.
Pewter mug.
I'm fed. I'm drank. I'm armed. Now I sleep.
Okay. All right. So the three of you are sleeping. Bellarmine, I'm gonna say that after about, let's say, I mean, you're going at this for, I don't know, probably about an hour, maybe. And it looks like you're gonna have to. It looks like you're able to pop one of the rivets off, but there's about, I don't know, like 12 of these things around. So you get the sense that it's gonna take you at least. It took you about an hour to get through one of these, and you think that it takes you you'd have to get through at least half of them to be able to undo the stone. That this is probably going to be about a good, like 6 hours of effort, and you feel your eyes wishing you to close them.
All right, well, I'll take a long rest.
Okay. All right. Time passes. Let's see. I mean, the two of you would have heard, like, Babbage and you may have heard, like, someone come into your rooms to collect. Actually. So, oh, that's a good point. So after about 15 minutes, after you've made your nest, someone comes into your room and collects the mug and the tray and then leaves. Babbage, this guy comes in to go get your tray and then is looking for the mug. And goes, hey! Comes over and pokes you, like, where's the mug? The mug, where is it? He starts like
what about
around,
your
like,
what about your ugly mug? Goodness gracious, you're gonna eat us? You can't even let us sleep? What is this, torture? Just kill us and be done with it.
Sort of just like looks around, can't seem to find the mug. Like, what? All right, steps out, leaves. After about 5 minutes, comes back. This guy comes in with his knife and like pokes you and like hits you with the pommel of the knife and gets like, stand up, get up.
What? For the love of God.
Where's the mug? And he like, what are you trying to put? What nonsense are you trying to pull off? And he's got his knife like in his hand, pointing at your face.
I spit at him. I shout some expletives. I say, just kill me.
All right. So like he goes, like you say that. He's like, You kind of just see him shrug, and he like spins the knife in his hand, and he's about to come down on you, and the woman walks in and goes, "Youth, enough. I'll take care of him." To which he kind of looks over his shoulder. "Hey, what you doing to me, lady?" I cannot get. I have an accent for him. I can't get consistent. It's supposed to be very. Anyway, all right. Give me a second. Why is Roll20? Come on. There's okay. Why is my Roll20 being dumb? Oh, that's probably why. Oh, let's see. No. What does that do? No. Oh, what does that do? Nope. All right, this is taking too long. There we go. Well, you have only 1 hit point. So, okay. Babbage, outside of your... You see her start to cast a spell, and you just suddenly fall asleep. And that is the last thing you remember.
That's what I wanted to do to begin with.
Fair enough. Okay.
Seems only fair since everybody else is.
All right. It is 10:50. I have here. What I'll do is this: the 3 of you, or all 4 of you, managed to sleep so that you now have. You can each remove 1 level of exhaustion that you each have on you, and I will give you. I mean, it's not the most restful sleep, but you all have half your hit points back.
I mean, a long rest is full health.
Yeah, but a long rest assumes that you're like in healthy conditions and like restful sleep. It is not.
Does it?
I'm gonna resolve that one offline, but we'll